Hey, hey, hey! It's Game Toppers Live, Game Toppers 3.0, our third one. And today we have with us a special guest, good friend, Rory Veronda from Empire Board Game Library in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Welcome, Rory.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Berkey.
Absolutely.
Glad to be a part of this third launch.
It's a pleasure having you on your show. Thanks for taking the time out. I know you're a busy man too, and it's kind of neat because we're in Central Time, you're in Mountain Time, and so we're at lunchtime for all of you folks that are in the Mountain Time zone. So hopefully we'll have some extra people in that time frame that we're catching you at your lunch break, and we're happy to answer any questions that you have about the Kickstarter. We want to interview Rory a little bit and talk about game stores, the retail market, things that he has found that has been successful and helped him and his community. But we also want to get to your emails and comments. So we'll kind of interject a little bit and then talk with Rory a little bit and find out some of the things that he's doing. So I think we'll be able to see the questions.
Yep. There's nothing yet.
Okay. So with that, we just unlocked for the $565,000 pledge, where the cool new mat bag that or bag for the leg kits has been unlocked. And boy, we have a lot of cool stuff that we just dropped on the Kickstarter that are amazing new stretch goals that continue to add value. One of the big things that we've been doing is people want more mat choices. It's probably one of the biggest questions that gets asked is, how do I do this with mats, or what mats are this? And we have a lot of questions about our brand new leg kits that convert the topper into a full-blown table experience, and the dining covers, which are all super cool. And so we want to answer any of those questions. But yesterday, I put out a survey to find out what people's favorite mats were. I generally know from our sales numbers, but we also wanted to get feedback because we have a whole bunch of new ones, right? And then we have a lot of our XL mat, XL leaf owners who have the big XL Watsons and Mycrofts and Holmes toppers. They wanted a double mat bundle. So we're finding out which new styles we can offer. So Rory, I know you've had a little bit of experience with some of our mats and that kind of thing, but what are some of your favorite mats?
You know, I don't know if I have a favorite yet. They're all, we have a lot of that. We have, as you know, we've got a pretty good selection of your mats, and we rotate them. I have to be honest with you, if I was going to probably pick a favorite mat, I really like that steel grid pattern mat, which is a little bit more simplistic and less going on, because that's kind of, for what I do, gaming, it just makes it's just easy for me to see on the board. But then on the other hand, I really like all the other different styles of maps that you guys have out, and we use, like as you see on our pictures, we play on all of your mats pretty much all the time. Now, I noticed on your social media that you had several recommendations for rail mats, and I would be 100% behind a rail mat, especially an 18XX style mat that would work for rail games, because I'm a huge fan of rail games.
Yeah.
Where are the trains? We got to get some trains out here.
It's actually been one of the other stretch goals we're talking about doing at the end of the campaign, is to have a backer's choice game mat, and we've been asking questions on the type of mats that people would like. And so we've been train theme has been a big one, like an Old West train theme has been one that's been mentioned many times. We've had a lot of people say they just want a big Starfield mat. A lot of folks mentioning that they want to have a horror themed graveyard old mansion type of thing, and we'll see what happens. There's lots of cool. Desert theme is one thing, and all water. A bunch of people are saying they'd like an all water map. So
well, I think one of my favorite mats is a water mat. Actually, the one that you had out. What's the one that's got the boats in it? And
The
The Viking mat.
The
I think
Viking
we
mat.
actually.
That's up on my list. We play. That's probably the most played mat I have.
We have a few people in the chat now. Welcome, everybody. We're going to show you a few pictures, and we're going to talk to Rory about his store, Empire Board Game Library. But here's a picture. That's the Viking mat set up.
This is actually on the toppers in Rory's store.
Cool.
Nice.
I remember when we first started talking a couple years ago, and of course, last year the pandemic just kind of messed up everybody's business model, right?
It did. Well, for Empire, we just had to pivot. We've got the largest retail board game selection in New Mexico. And as soon as the pandemic hit, we immediately, as you know, had to close our doors to indoor gaming. And we kind of switched over to online retail. We actually did online delivery. So we really kind of just changed gears and went crazy with retail. But now we're changing back around slowly but surely, and people are coming back into the shop and gaming in store.
Well, I remember you reaching out to me here a few months ago. We had some inventory still held over for retail stores because we had a lot of retail stores on our last campaign that wanted to get involved with Game Toppers and become an affiliate. And then right after the Gamma Trade Show, it was like all bets are off almost. And so we didn't focus a lot on this campaign towards retailers, but we still have an affiliate program. I'm just handling them on a case-by-case basis as everybody is starting to reopen, and we can handle it a little bit more intimately for each store. And that's what you did. You basically reached out to me. What was your thought about bringing our product into the store?
Well, it's kind of interesting. We, as I said, we went full-blown retail. So we had a pretty amazing holiday season for 2020, to be honest with you, in terms of retail board game sales, which, as you know, it's not as good as the shop being open, not even close. Mm-hmm. But it did give me a little bit of resources to kind of like improve the store a little bit. And one of the things that I've been talking to you about for the last couple of years, I think 3 years, to be honest with you, was trying to get some of these toppers in. And we finally pulled the trigger on getting a couple toppers in, and once I saw what they looked like, I pulled the trigger on more toppers. So now we almost have, for the exception of a couple of tables in here, which are display tables at this point, we almost have all of the top section of the store is all custom tables now.
So
for me, it was kind of taking the opportunity with the pandemic to kind of revamp the look of the interior of the store. And I got to tell you, when people, and I'm not just blowing the horn for you, I'm really not. When people walk through the door and they see these tables, they are completely blown away. And they don't even realize that it's just a table on top of a table. They think it's just a full-blown custom table. Mm-hmm. I literally have to tell them that it's a topper on top of a table, or they would never know.
I know when we first went to Kickstarter, we had about 30 game toppers all over Gen Con with a bunch of publishers. We were everywhere, and we hadn't even gotten to market. It was just a test run to see if this was going to work, and people liked it. And it was a big risk, that I took to spend that money to do it. And I would do these little impromptu videos, just say, "What do you think about this game topper you're playing on?" And they'd go, "What? This is just on a folding table?"
Yeah.
How much is it? Well, about $500-600. What? I mean, they couldn't believe it. And since then, that's all history. But it's like people are amazed at how well they work. And then we've been able to keep adding to this whole system. Like you were able to get some Lestrades, which are half of the homes, the bigger table you have. So that you could do a lot of games that are that smaller to medium footprint.
Oh, yeah, those are great. Like one side of our shop, wish we had a shop layout, but one side of our shop has basically 4 tops. And a regular size 4 top is, you can get a game like Ticket to Ride or Catan on that table. It's a tight fit, but it's doable. And so you can play up to that size game. But then basically all of the other kind of roll and rides, card-based games, all that kind of everything along from that size down fits on that table perfectly. And and the other one too that I wanted to mention about the tables, that if you're a retailer out there and you're on the fence or you're deciding whether you want to pull a trigger on something like game toppers, the the drink carrier with the tray tops are unbelievable for us. We're able to add those on. We're able to be able to serve people drinks, and then they can have a sandwich on top of the tray top, and not have anything on the actual game itself or inside of the game table itself, which it's been huge over here for us. Like, people really, really like it a lot.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about the customer reaction. And, I don't know what type of traffic you're getting every day, but tell us how that's looking for your store and what it's actually doing for your store.
So in Albuquerque, we recently went to I'm sure every state's got their own opening, like key catchwords or whatever, but ours latest one has been turquoise, because New Mexico's fond of turquoise. Which means basically that we're able to open up about 50%. So basically about half of our tables, and by the way, we seat almost 80 people in here, so that's 40 people in the shop. So we're just getting to this point right now. So, when we're open, like on primetime hours, we're definitely, all of our tables are full. And the customers, like I said, when they walk in, they're pretty blown away with the new look of the store. I mean, with all the different themed tops that we have, it's just, you walk in and it's hard to decide which table you want to sit at. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So do you have any tables that are just plain tables? And
no. Well, downstairs we have some plain tables. Upstairs we have plain tables, but they have retail displays on them. So
okay,
basically every table is a custom table now.
Cool. I see we have Jason West, and we've actually been chatting a little bit via email, and he has a question for you. And I think this is great because we can actually have owner-to-owner talk here. It doesn't have to be Berkey selling something. It's kind of you guys can talk about some of the things that you have concern. And I think this might be really valuable to a lot of other retailers, as you really know your perspective,
Right.
So Jason asked, how sturdy are they on top of a folding table?
So I can't answer folding tables. I don't have any folding tables in the shop. All I have are regular solid wood tables with basically kind of a restaurant base on them, but they don't move. They are like, somehow you've got some kind of a coating on the bottom that really sort of adheres to the table, and it doesn't move at all. Although I can speak for being at BGG 2 years in a row where you had these on folding tables at BGG.
Correct.
And I played many, many hours on those table toppers at BGG, and I didn't notice any problem at all.
Yeah, we have 30 game toppers at the Hot Games room at BGG. And one of the reasons why they are so stable, even on like a plastic folding table, we have about 30 publishers likewise that use them in conventions. Cool Mini or Not has 18 toppers, and they're all on these little plastic 30-inch by 72-inch tables for the Sherlock Holmes model like you have.
Right.
And so, of course, whatever your base table, how sturdy it is, that's how sturdy your table will be. The topper isn't going to make that table more sturdy necessarily, but what we have found is that it actually, we have cross supports underneath the table floor, and the material Rory's referring to is a 3mm rubber or 3M rubberized material on every cross support and every rail. And it creates this friction footprint. When you lock that connector cleat, that's one huge platform that is there, and it won't tip, it won't move. We can move the table, the whole table, slide the table without the topper moving off of it.
Yeah, you're right about that. I can do the same thing here with the tables that I have. I can move the topper and the table moves with it.
It's probably the biggest thing that people questioned initially when we had the design. Even all the reviewers we sent stuff to, they all thought there had to be some kind of clamping mechanism or something, and they were looking for a strap or a clamp.
Yeah, yep. And I wouldn't suggest sitting on it, but I wouldn't suggest sitting on a normal table anyway. I mean, like our tables, even without a topper on them, if you were to sit down on the edge of a restaurant table, you're going to mess it up. So, I mean, it's got its limits. But as far as people playing at the tables themselves, there's not a problem at all.
So we were setting up our leg kit here, and we were setting up the XL leaf to see if the extra center support, how that would feel. And it seemed pretty darn good. And so Berkey decided to jump up on the table.
Hold on, Berkey. I see I'm doing a podcast.
And right. Josiah was looking at me like, are you sure you want to do this? And but you shouldn't jump on your tables.
Yeah, although I did see you laying on a table. I'm 6'4", about 225 pounds. I'm not sure if I'd lay on the table.
Well, I've got you about the same weight. I just don't have quite the height.
That's all right. You can work on that. Stack more wood.
Yeah, exactly. Jason said he's looking to get several Mycrofts on top of adjustable tables. Want to make sure that they can't easily be knocked off or nudged. I think that's a really great concern. A Mycroft, one of the things that we explain regarding our toppers is the actual overall dimensions of the outside of the topper and what customers ask us about the under table. Do you want to explain that? Or?
Yeah, so generally what we recommend is not having more than a 9-inch overhang on each side of the topper. So you can overhang the under table about 9 inches. The less you overhang, the sturdier it's going to be, but you can go up to 9 inches generally without issues. The key part is that those cross supports that run underneath the topper, that those are on the table. Because if those didn't hit your table, especially on like the Mycroft there, it would try to bow and it wouldn't sit flat because those are what are actually supporting it. So,
and I think for a retail store too, when you're doing the Mycroft, that's the big 4-foot by 6-foot table. So the outside dimensions are actually 55 by 79, and you can add an extension leaf to go all the way to 103 inches or a 4-foot by 8-foot play area for great big over battle type of scenarios or whatever. But in that case, you have a different play style. You don't have people sitting down, resting their arms on it, which doesn't put very much force on the table at all, honestly. That's why there's never an issue with this. But you have people standing up, putting all their weight on the rail. If that was overhanging, a foot or so, the topper itself, you're probably not going to flip, but the fulcrum point will be at the floor on a table, causing maybe the table to possibly move. So Cool Mini or Not, for instance, Simon, they have 6 of those Mycroft toppers for Song of Ice and Fire in demo at all their shows. They use a 30-inch wide plastic folding table that's 6 foot long and an 18-inch that they just got on Amazon. So the footprint is 48 inches wide by 6 foot, zero problem. We usually demo it on 2 36 by 36 tables and just separate them a little bit so each cross support is on the table. And that's worked fine for us. But being you've got a lot of people getting excited, on the edge of your table, I think a good 4-foot by 6-foot base, and you can even do it with a piece of plywood and people have different leg apparatuses, and actually our leg kit could work for that with some of these flat brackets that we have. So there's other ways of skinning the cat on that one.
Nice. And Berkey, just to add in on that, even on your table toppers, even on a regular table, like you can't lean on the tables, stand up and go crazy on the tables, even with a regular topper without a topper on, with a regular table without a topper. You know what I mean? Because you'll move tables around regardless. So I feel like the topper, I don't think hardly adds much more than just a normal table, what a normal table would withstand.
It's a really good point, because I think that's kind of the perception that this changes that engineering so much, but it really doesn't. The key is that it stays on there, and then how stable of a table do you have? If you have a really bad table that's tippy to begin with, well, the topper is not going to fix that. So So tell us a little bit else about what you're seeing successful in the hobby for your retail store, things that have worked for you, Rory.
Well,
We'll get to
you know
some
what
other questions
we've
here.
started recently. We've started playing a lot more games, which is kind of why I'm in this business in the first place, right?
Right.
So, like, basically on every Wednesday and Thursday morning, we play a new release game or a new game that's out, or even pull out an old game that we haven't had a chance to play, and we do a review. We post it on our social media pages, and it's been extremely beneficial, like, to get those games on the table, because here at Empire we definitely like to play slightly more complex games, although a lot of our clientele likes to play your less complex games. But when they see these reviews that we do and they see some of the gameplay and overview of the rules and whatnot, it allows them to kind of step up on some of these different levels of games, and it also kind of helps us kind of move some of the retail stuff out as well, because a lot of people are like maybe intimidated to come to the store and try to learn one of these slightly more complex style games, but they're definitely willing to take it home and sit there and ponder with the rules and the game set up and watch one of our video write-ups or reviews on one of the games we're playing for the week. So that's been really beneficial on our side for Empire.
Well, and it's like once a game is set up on a game topper too, the immersion level, especially if you're using a thematic game mat to the game. I mean, you're playing Reavers of Midgard on our Viking mat. It's, by the way, it's the same artist, Jaroslav Radecki from Poland. I mean, it's just a whole nother level of gameplay, right?
Oh, for sure. So, like, one of the ones that we played recently, which was just a fantastic fit, is we played Cryo, which I highly recommend. Great little game. And we played that on our space mat. I think there's pictures. I think you've got pictures of that. We took pictures of that and posted them for you. And it really is. It really makes for an immersive experience with that game, which is really awesome. And by the way, I think Cryo is a really great. It's one of my little hot button games lately.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't played that yet, but we haven't had a lot of time to play a lot of games.
Yeah. Well, with this pandemic, I sort of decided, I'm like, while people aren't in here, let's play some games. It's been a ton of fun, and it's actually been really helpful. It puts out a lot of content for the store, and then of course, with our new game toppers we put out, it's been a lot of fun.
Cool.
I think that may have been the picture. Was this the one you were talking about?
So is that Cryo there set up?
That is not Cryo.
I can't see it.
What is that one? Hey, Eugene, what is this game?
That looks like it's a map, though.
It's on a space mat. But yeah.
Oh, no, that is Excavation Earth. Excavation Earth. By the way, if you like to have your brains coming out of your ears, that is a wonderful game. It is an amazing game, but man, has that got a lot going on.
If you want to have your brains come out your ears, just run a Kickstarter. I say our life is like a 15-hour heavy Euro.
Oh man, so no wonder you got the product, but you're not able to play the game because you're too busy with the Kickstarter now.
Oh, they call my name, right?
Yeah. I don't know if you got those pictures too, but we definitely have one posted of Cryo too. And if I don't, I'll send it over to you, but it looks really good on that mat.
Cool.
Yeah.
There's some other ones.
So we have a couple questions. So let's see here. The Charity Board Gamer says, Rory, what game and Matt have created the best table presence on the topper? Would love to hear that experience.
Well, Eugene, what games and toppers have gone together really well recently? What do we play Aura Labora on? Well, we played Aura Labora on your Viking mat, and that was actually a very good fit. In fact, some of these like Euro style games look fantastic on I know the theme isn't the same theme, but it still has that same feel about it. And Aura Labora, by the way, that's another really great one. But Aura Labora kind of has a nautical sort of side to it, which goes extremely well with that mat.
I think that's one of the things too, is when you play on a thematic mat, we have some of the more neutral ones, but when you play on a thematic mat, we've did our best to keep most of the art assets around the edge of the mat, so that the center's a little more neutral. And what I've found anyway, and this is different for everybody, so it's totally fine, whatever people like. But once you're actually immersed in the game and now you're feeling that environment, you really don't pay a lot of attention to a lot of the different things. Even like we've had people say, well, I don't like the logo on the mat, and it's like, I get it, but that's a branding thing that we do. But when you're playing the game and everything, you don't really even pay attention to some of that stuff.
No. You know what? Trevor just walked in and he plays a lot of games on this mat. I'm going to ask Trevor this question right now. Trevor, what game and mat has been your favorite experience over all the games we've been playing recently? By the way, here's Trevor, guys.
Yeah, hey.
Trevor was my technical support guy if we had our times correct.
So favorite game to play on the tabletop?
Yeah, like thematically, like I said, I really enjoyed Cryo on a space mat. I really enjoyed Ora Labora on the Viking mat.
Yeah, I tell you,
what about
Hallertau was really good on the Viking mat.
Oh,
also.
That's right. Hallertau was really good. And what was the other one we just played on? So like Riverboat, like all that style of game on a water theme mat for some reason just kind of works. It kind of feels old world-ish and just works.
Cloud Age worked really well on the adventure map, and Black Angel was great on the space map also.
Oh, that's right. You play Black
Angel.
Angel, Berkey? Have you played that yet?
I haven't.
That's another good one. That's a really good one. It's kind of a variation of Twa, but in a space theme. We really enjoyed it. What did we play for? What did we play for? We played. Okay, so we did play a bunch of games on the regular wood mat, which was actually one of my favorites
Train
too.
Games are great on the wood map.
So there you go, train and rail games on the wood mat. In fact, we did our last few 18xx games were on the wood mat.
Yeah, and really anything Western themed also, like Great Western Trail. And what's that poker themed Western game?
Las Vegas or
no,
The Epic one?
No, the box looks like a covered wagon.
Oh gosh, that was such a great little game. Into the Trail.
Yeah, that's great on the wood map.
Into the Trail. Yeah, Pioneer Days. I mean, you could do all kinds of those things.
Yeah. What is that? What's the name of that mat, Berkey? The driftwood mat. Is it called the driftwood mat?
It's just called the wood grain. It's a high resolution wood grain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it looks great.
It looks really good for a variety of different kinds of games along those lines.
Yeah, Great Western Trail would be a really good one too. Oh, I see Peter mentions that.
Yeah. What else can you think of? What do we do on the small games? I mean, we've been playing a lot of Dice Throne lately on our four tops, which has been, what's our four top?
That's the elf one. Sorry, I don't know the names of all of them.
Yeah. What's that Ryan Lockett mat?
Yes, that's beautiful. And anything that has that, I mean, you play so many things on that thing, but Wingspan or photosynthesis.
I had a couple in here last week that played Everdell on it, and it worked really well.
Yeah. And the other one, we've been playing a lot of, I know this doesn't make any sense at all, but we've been playing a lot of Dice Throne on this mat.
Really?
We've been on a Dice Throne kick lately. I don't know if you've played any Dice Throne, but man, what a fun little game.
I hear really good things about it.
Oh, excellent game. Really
you sent
good.
us a couple little videos. We'll show everybody a couple of the mats here real quick.
Nice.
Yep, we just played the Ryan Lockett one. These are on the Lestrade toppers. This is the fantasy.
Oh, yeah. That mat is really popular with it. Oh, and see that one? Man, I really like that mat a lot too.
Crimson Red.
The Crimson Red. The Crimson Red is really versatile for a lot of different things.
Yeah, the Cobalt looks really good too. I think that's the blue one.
Yeah, the Cobalt. And then I told him I really like that steel gray mat. That's one of my favorites.
I think Crisis looks really good on the steel mat. It has the same.
Oh yeah. So that's what we did. We got to play on Crisis about a week ago, and it did go really well. That's kind of an industrial building civilization, you want to call it? What do you call Crisis? What do you call that game? Have you heard of Crisis yet, Berkey?
Heard of it. Haven't.
Recently came out.
Recently re-released.
Ask me what I've played. Nothing. Ask me what I've played.
Yeah.
Not very much.
I feel bad about talking about the games we play because we've been playing like 2 or 3 games a week.
Yeah.
It's pretty spoiled compared to a lot of the community.
Totally. I told Berkey that during the pandemic, we just decided to change gears and start playing tons of games, and it's been really awesome.
Yeah, but this always comes up like, oh, have you played this or that? People are like, no, I haven't played anything.
We as a company, we would do this Relevance Friday thing where at 3:00 we'd knock off, and then the team would come over, Joseph and Josiah and I. So we were playing some 3-player games, and so we got a few games in about a month ago, and which was really great. We got to play After the Empire.
What'd you think of that one?
That was a
I know
fantastic.
that hasn't come out, and we haven't gotten it yet. Did you get a pre-release of that or what?
No, we got the Kickstarter deluxe version of it.
Oh, okay. I'm still waiting for that to come through normal channels of distribution, but yeah, I want to get a play on that one.
It was really good. I've never had a game quite so much where like spending your victory points, because your victory points is also your gold. It's such a hard decision where you're like, I don't want to have too many points.
Did you hear that one?
Yeah. I've been looking
I like
forward to
that's
that
an interesting mechanic because you don't want to give up your victory points, and you got to give up your victory points. Yeah, no doubt.
There's that weird tension of being ahead to, and the catch-up mechanic and when to make the run. And
Oh yeah,
it was really fun.
So we just got a copy last week of Red Rising, and that's going to be an interesting one. I don't know what game, Matt, we're going to put that one on, but we just got that one. The new Stonemeyer game.
Yeah. I've heard good things about that. It's kind of a deck builder worker placement game, or
we haven't got this one. We're going to get it to the table. Maybe we'll get it to the table tomorrow. Who knows?
There's not really any worker placement. Or decks. It's more like a hand builder sort of.
Oh, I'm thinking of Dune Imperium.
Yes.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, Dune Imperium, by the way, is phenomenal. That's another great one. Dune Imperium and Arnak are all super good.
I really like.
Everybody's raving about those two games, and they came in stock on Miniature Market, and I had them on my wish list. We don't have a local family game store that we can frequent here in rural Minnesota where we live, and I picked them up, and I keep going, Josiah, everybody really likes this game. I really want to play this game, and it's like, we have so much to do right now. We can barely keep up with our emails, and I want this, and we got to do the graphics, and we're running like 100 miles an hour. And by the end of the day, it's like, I don't know if we can read a rule book.
Yeah, you pretty much what? I don't know what that is. Apparently, we just got a new game in, which I did not order.
Oh boy!
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
I want to play that game.
That might go good on one of your nautical maps, I guess.
We have Daniel has a question for us.
It says, torn between a Holmes and a Watson along with the double rail kit. We have a couple 3x3 Ottomans, but also like the extra inch width on the Watson. Would a Hudson, half of a Watson, sit well on the 3x3 Ottoman?
That's a super great question. We have a little bit, about a 40-inch square Ottoman ourselves, leather Ottoman in our family room. And what's so cool about adding the accessory rail to half of your topper, you can use it for coffee tables or Ottomans. Like we take our half Watson, the Hudson, and we take it with us camping and keep it in the camper, and it's perfect for a picnic table. It's just perfect. The Lestrade will give you the more square footprint, but the Hudson, the outside dimensions are 45 by 37. So you have to look at the size of your Ottoman to answer the question best. But if you have at least 37 by 45, it'll work just as good. And you have a little bit more of a rectangle versus the square. Now the Lestrade, like Rory was saying, you can play Ticket to Ride. It's a little tight, but you can play it on there just fine. I remember Arcane Wonders, they were demoing Viral and at conventions on a 3x3, and it was just fine. The 30 by 38 Hudson play area, and then you got the rails, so you got your card slots. That saves so much. To have your card slots like this, it's amazing how much extra real estate you get on a table. So Hudson allows for some of the board games that are more rectangle to fit better sometimes.
Well, another thing, too, to kind of throw in on that is that those accessory kits that you add to your tables really open the table up a ton. because you're not putting anything on your table. So all of your stuff sits off the table, which makes your table 100% usable.
Yeah, it's all play area.
And the cup holders are collapsible that they're referring to. Can handle can of pop. It can handle your larger coffee mugs, larger water bottles. We even have these really cool inserts for the bottom, so it can be a dice tray. You can put chips in here. It's all dishwasher safe.
Yeah.
It can be a lot of functionality, and this is a pretty good footprint to put bits on. And then we have they come with a printed cardboard coaster, but you can also get the acrylic coasters, and that provides a really nice stable surface. And then with where is it behind me here? The dry erase pens, these work really awesome to be scorecards. So if you're keeping score or you need to write notes or something like that for deduction games, everybody can have their own one. And we have these smaller ones for the single cup holders too. Mm-hmm. What do you think about these?
Yeah, they're just really nice to have a larger, you get that flat surface. So a lot of times I'll put, like when I'm playing role-playing games or things like that, I'll have a book that I'll set on the double cup holder or even just, the extra storage space to have things off the table. So
they grab a coffee to-go cup too.
One of the things that's super cool along those lines, not only do the cup holders and the poker trays, we have these poker trays, they hook into the rail. Well, not only will they hold poker chips, these are my brass Roxley Games chips. They're still in plastic. But this hooks into the rail, but it also has the holes that you can use the little legs to hook on top of the rail. So you can hold a lot of bits in here, or chips, or money. But then we have the accessory trays. These things are awesome. I mean, the wells are deep enough. There's 4 of them for a lot of bits, plus the side pieces for dice or other things. You'll notice on the bottom of the update we just sent out, and on the bottom of the page where the stretch goals are, we have the new privacy player shields. There's a little video you can see, a little 3D rendering of it. We don't have them printed yet, but we just put them up for a stretch goal. But they fit in these slots right here. So it's a 3-piece set. You have 2 side pieces and 1 front piece set, and it's super cool. I don't know if we can show people a picture of that from the update.
Hey, Ricky, real quick too, for your retail audience. Here, I want to show you guys what it looks like. Can you see that? That's a coffee cup on one side, and then I'm going the wrong way. Yeah. And a regular cup with a to-go cup on this side. And then let me switch this around real quick. And this is what we serve for, chips, sandwiches, any kind of stuff is on this side. Can you see that? Everything's there you go. And that's the basket with the plexiglass on top. And we go through a ton of sandwiches and drinks and food here. So this thing really, really helps out a ton for keeping people's games area clear. Just wanted to add that. That's
great. And then it's the acrylic too is washable. So that's going to be a real longevity piece. And we have the cardboard ones, and they have a laminate cover on them. But honestly, the acrylic pieces, I think, are going to be your best long-term solution. We wanted to provide a solution, but acrylic prices have really gone through the roof. So it wasn't something we were able to just include, but they're really a cool feature. We're going to pull up. We were just talking about our dice accessory trays too. Remember, these allow us to set in our dice tower also.
Oh, see that?
The player shields go all the way around, and Josiah's going to show a little. Were you able to do it? Okay, I'm sorry. We weren't prepared to show the video for that, but the update has a video, and I will put that video below the stretch goal on the Kickstarter page too, so you can actually see the functionality of the privacy screen. So if you need to have hidden money or hidden components, it's going to work super cool for that. Do you have the Dice Tower accessory trays, Rory?
I don't, but it's something we could use over here for sure.
Yeah.
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 Well, I know a guy.
Hey, another one you didn't mention about the table itself that we find very handy over here on the retail side of it is that little slot to hold cards on the table itself.
You mentioned it.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay. Yeah, that thing is really handy.
Yeah, it also frees up a ton of real estate.
I think you're right. I think I underemphasized how important that is.
It is.
It's so much funner. I mean, even like we were playing Dragon Castle with my daughter and my wife this weekend, and just the victory point chips. We made the rail big enough so that you can put tiles in there, like you're playing Carcassonne or whatever, and we'd put our victory points there because it was just a way to get it off of the table and the player board, things like that. But all of your cards, so you can see them at a quick glance, especially if you're playing games where you have end game objectives.
Mm-hmm.
You want them right in front of you. It's really a fantastic feature, something we were deliberate about.
Especially for us older people that have trouble remembering what's in our hands. We have to continuously keep thumbing through our hand to figure out what's in there. If it's just sitting right in front of our face the whole time, it just makes for a more positive experience.
I resemble that remark.
Looks like we have a follow-up question from Daniel. Can the Hudson overhang a surface by 9 inches on either end?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it can. At that point, because the topper is smaller, the less overhang you have, the better it will be. Just because
there's two cross supports under each half, and that's why it works. And we do have a video on the front page that says how they work. I know we talk about a lot of stuff in there, but we have a section there where we show specifically the back side of the topper, and that'll give you a really good visualization of why it works as well as it does.
Yep. Silent Love asks, would I be able to get a good coverage on half a Watson, so the Hudson, with the dining cover from the Satchel package? I'm a bit confused with the added dining cover add-ons.
That's a great question, and Josiah has actually been working really diligently with our engineering team when we made a slight redesign, and we're going to explain that. I'll let Josiah explain the specifics of both the Holmes cover and the Watson cover.
Yep. So the Holmes and Watson dining covers both have a roughly 15-inch end section. So there's two of those that go on either end. And then in between, there are 12-inch sections that will fill out the rest of the topper. So you can actually take out those 12-inch sections to fit smaller toppers. So like you could use the Holmes one, take out two sections or one section to fit a 3x5. So that'd be a Lestrade with a leaf. Take out two sections and you're fitting the Adler, and take out three and you're actually covering the Lestrade there. So the Watson is similar. It's a little different just the way the measurements work out, because you have the two 15-inch end sections that are the it would be 44 wide, which allows it to cover the rails.
Yeah.
So those two 44 by 15, when you put them together, you have the 40 by 30, where the outside is 30. What would that be? 36 then. So you end up having the rails exposed on the two ends of the Hudson if you do that with the dining cover. But it does cover the play surface completely.
Yeah, it covers the vault. There was no way for us to fix that one particular mathematical solution without making a 6-inch mini leaf, which just really wouldn't be able to be done. A lot of factors into the decisions. We made this redesign to accommodate all of the different solutions. This redesign did actually cost us quite a bit more money than we had planned for in this campaign. And it has to do with waste of materials to make it this way, but it made it much more versatile. But rather than changing all of our prices midstream, we just felt, this is a better solution. This is the way we're going to offer it during the campaign. After the campaign's over, our prices have to go up. But it's a better solution. But we just decided, hey, we brought it to market this way. We want to reward you for joining our Kickstarter campaign. And so we made that business decision to help you with what we're trying to accomplish. we always want the best solution possible. What was really cool too about this 12-inch solution is we had a lot of people that wanted their Adler covered, or they wanted the 3x5. That's where the 24-inch extension leaf adds to it. And so now we were able to accomplish that, which really made a good solution. Some people, you might have that extra section that to accommodate those other solutions variabilities that you want. But that's kind of the benefit. You have so many options. So sometimes you'll use them all, sometimes you won't.
A question from Tim. I know he asked this earlier. We weren't able to get to it, so thanks for sending it again. Do the 4 poker chip tray bundle come with 4 sets of legs?
Currently, they do not. We unlocked that stretch goal to reduce the price of a 4-pack significantly. The reason we didn't do it is a couple things. One of the things had to do with cost. Resin prices have almost went 6 to 7 times higher. In some of my ABS plastic resins, which the poker tray comes on, actually, it went from $1.50 a pound to $6 a pound because of supply right now. So it's crazy expensive. Nonetheless, the main reason why we didn't include that in the package is these hook into the rail. So they hook below the rail and they can just sit on the table. Also, new backers that are getting our dice accessory trays with their package, they're getting 2 sets of those legs, and those legs are interchangeable. Use the dice accessory tray and the poker chip tray on top of the rail simultaneously. Then you'd want to get an extra set of legs. It's something that at the end of the campaign, if we can hit some bigger numbers, we have a lot of stretch goals to do, but in order to give all that away, I got to make good decisions, and I'm already discounting stuff really significantly. But I'll definitely take a look at that, because there may be some that's an important thing, and we'll look at it later in the campaign. But we really do need to hit some bigger numbers.
So Jonathan has a question for Rory. Is the leg kit and dining cover an option that would be something that works for retail?
That's a good question, but I haven't had a chance to try the leg kit out. But I actually would be willing to try the leg kit out when it's available. Is that what they're asking me? If they'll have, leg kits, yeah.
Yep.
And what is the dining? Oh, dining cover. So we have a couple of tables here at the shop that they're different gaming tables that have the tops for dining tables, but the game toppers, we just leave those open. So all of those style of tables are just open, and that's why we use the accessory kits for those. And we also have a downstairs area that just has regular tables that people can sit at. So we don't have anything to cover the game toppers, if that's what you're asking me.
One thing that is good to notice about the game topper, dining cover gaming shelf is what we're calling it now, because you can get an end piece of the dining cover by itself now. That's one of the new stretch goals that we've unlocked, because a lot of people just want an extra shelf on part of their topper. So if you have that big 6-foot Holmes topper and you're playing a game that only really needs 4 feet, maybe you want that extra shelf so that you can put chips on or things like that. Or Josiah does a lot of D&D and BattleTech and whatnot to put your D&D DM screen on. Also, as a workspace, Josiah uses it a lot to run his computer when he's working at home, when he's not at the office.
Hey, I wanted to do one little quick follow-up on that last question. And we haven't really talked about how fast these tables break down and set up. Mm-hmm. So like we were in the middle of a Saturday night a couple of weeks back, and we had a large party come in, and we had to break down for our 6 tops that they're sitting on. And the manager at that night said that he broke down the table topper in 3 minutes or less. And we're able to break that down, put that aside, and combine the 2 6 tops together for a 12 or 13 top or whatever it was, and then put them back together in just minutes. And I think that's a pretty important factor when you're considering this as a retail. If you have a situation like we have here, where you're getting a large volume of people and you need to move things out quickly, the topper breaks down very fast.
I think that's actually even a bigger selling point for at-home use, because like I have a big, nice mid-century table that I want to show off, but I don't want to play games directly on it. They break down in like a minute. It's a one-person job. They you just slide them basically right apart and put them back in the closet if you don't want to have them out all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a really great point, because they are fully assembled. This is made durable. We have people that have had our toppers for 4 or 5 years in heavy commercial use, and they still look like new.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can imagine at the conventions how much use they get at the conventions.
Exactly, and that's one of the designs that was really important to us, that it would be heirloom type of quality that would last, and that military grade aluminum, the waterproof EPVC floor material is really decently durable too, and that's really important, that you get longevity out of it.
And again, I'm not being paid to be on this podcast at all. I'm a volunteer. But one thing that all of the customers notice about the toppers is the quality of the materials that you used to make the toppers. I mean, it really is. When I first got the toppers, I was so surprised at how quality the metals were on it. Like it's just a very high quality unit.
Well, I'll tell you a fun little story. Mark, on our last Kickstarter campaign, Mark Streed from the Dice Tower and Board Game Corner, he came to our home to do some filming from Colorado. And we were doing a lot of stuff for the last Holmesian mystery videos that we were doing and all that. And we picked him up in Fargo, North Dakota, and we have a game store up there. It's about an hour and a half, hour and 10 minutes, whatever, from us. And they, Paradox Games, and at that time, they were doing Star Wars Destiny. They were doing organized play. And we walked in the store, and they had a whole row of 5 of the Sherlock Holmes models right down the entire middle of their main store, and had these people playing organized head-to-head play. Wow. It was so awesome. We couldn't believe it.
It must have been amazing
The day we were there.
Man.
And so they were able to take those toppers from their main area and just run them in this new configuration for the new event. Yeah. So organized play events, this is brilliant, right?
Oh man, I can't wait to get to the point of being able to do organized play events again. I think it's right around the corner. But holiday season's coming up, and hopefully everything will be straight by then.
Yeah. So we have a question here for clarification. I just pledged for the Reichenbach Falls package and wish to upgrade the premium walnut option and add 2 premium game mats. Can I wait until the pledge manager opens to add more money, or do I need to pledge the amount of the pledge plus my desired add-ons before the pledge manager opens?
Go ahead.
So you can do either. It helps if you add that extra funds now to where that'll help us reach some of those stretch goal numbers before the end of the campaign. So that helps contribute there. But, if you want to split it up so where you get, the charge at the end of the campaign, and then also after the pledge survey, there's an option there as well. So if you pledge the additional money for the Kickstarter campaign, that additional amount will be a credit that you use in the pledge manager to select those add-ons. So
I'd say the pledge manager works really well. We use BackerKit, and because of the complexity of our campaign, there's a lot of nice survey questions when you pledge for a package, for instance, where it's going to ask you about what mats you want. Do you want to add this on, blah, blah, blah. And it's really simple. And I think it really puts you in the driver's seat to do all of that. We do want to recommend for people, if you want to get in on wave 1 fulfillment, pledge for that now, because those are going to go away. The last 4 or 5 days of this campaign, we have a ton of marketing go on. A lot of people have been just kind of watching what's going on, and we have a huge surge at the end of this campaign. We've done this a few times. We know what happens, and those things can be gone. So it's not like I'm trying to create a sense of urgency. I'm just saying there will be some of those things will go away. And then likewise, at the end of the campaign, we're going to leave that pledge manager open, and we're going to ask everyone to fill out their surveys as soon as possible so that we can hurry up and get all of the orders facilitated for the wave 2, because we're hoping to deliver ahead of time if possible. That'll all depend on how quickly we can move everything through. But after the Kickstarter, after about a month and a half, Josiah's getting married June 19th.
Hey, congratulations.
New stage of life. But after July 5th, we're going to be seeing some changes happening on those prices. And some of these amazing stretch goals, they're not going to be available anymore because I can't sustain them long term. But again, we always want to give back to our backers. This is a way I can reward you for supporting us and helping us keep doing this and ordering the amount of product that I have to order, because it's a huge expense to order the aluminum and all the things that we do.
So we have a question saying, I love my homes with one rail that gives me a Lestrade. Do you think it would be compatible and cool looking to have a Dragon Master single rail or Odin rail giving me a second Lestrade? I have the black rails now. My opinion is it is kind of cool because the black aluminum does match. And it's just the inlay. We actually have a unit in Germany that we were demoing with where we took the wood strips in and out so we could show the Viking and the Dragon. However, we are not going to have any of those available except for the Odin bundle with people who bought the sculpted Dragon or the sculpted Vikings. So while it might be cool, it honestly isn't going to be available. Cool. So that's about all the questions. Do you have any other thoughts or anything you want to talk to potential retailers or other people? And tell us a little, you can tell us a little bit about your store too, for those that might be able to come and frequent it if they're from your area.
No problem. We're located in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's Empire Board Game Library. We're very active on Facebook and social medias. We're easy to find. And definitely look us up and check out some of our feeds. We do a lot of stuff with new games, new game reviews. We've got a huge retail selection. And if you're in town, by all means, come by and stop in and check out the shop in person. It's a ton of fun over here.
Are you doing
We've got, what's that?
Are you doing plugs?
We're doing a plug, yeah. And we've got a full menu. We've got an espresso bar. We've got a drink case and desserts, and it's a lot of fun over here. You want to jump in on it? Here we got one more plug. We got one more plugger coming in.
Oh, what you're saying? You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Empire BGL, as in Board Game Library. And then there's also a newsletter you can sign up for.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, definitely. We send out a weekly newsletter that is only related to the shop and only related to games that are releasing and only related to games that we've played, which is actually a really good information.
Yeah, we do a lot of reviews on the Facebook and the
right.
Well, I know good friends of mine are Sean Ramirez and Alex Goldsmith from the Dukes of Dice, and I know you're good friends with them, and they are from Albuquerque, and Alex is no longer there. He was a sportscaster, and Sean is an attorney in town, I believe, right?
That's right.
And I know his
Sean,
life totally switched because he became a full partner owner or whatever, and he's working a lot more. But I've seen some pictures of them down at the store.
Well, Sean's going to be here at 6:00 today for Dukes of Dice. So we are
okay.
We're going to be gaming today.
Yeah, I love those people.
He is very busy, but we still game quite a bit.
Well, I met Sean and Raquel initially at BGG Con, and I think that might have been where I first met you.
Yep.
And we've had a couple different times, epic games of Kemet. And that Raquel, I tell you what, she is competitive and she is sneaky.
Yeah.
But Sean, he's the evil overlord, just waiting to come in and snatch any opportunity. And he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he does. But he's probably going to get beat tonight, just so you know.
And Alex and I,
maybe he's watching this. Maybe he can chime in.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd be happy to, but Alex has become a really good friend too, and we're really big board game baseball highlights 2045 fans.
Yep.
And we actually did a board game theater episode, Josiah and I, and we had Mike Fitzgerald, the designer, and Alex Goldsmith, both professional sportscasters, okay, do a play-by-play of us playing the game in character, and we had it in green screen, and that was like crazy fun.
So we actually flew Mike Fitzgerald in to Albuquerque for a baseball highlights tournament. The first tournament that he ever did for that game was here at Empire Board Game Library.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he's a great guy.
It's so fun. I love Mike has one of our game toppers too, and I remember when he first saw it, he just went, Berkey, this is brilliant. He just was so happy. And I did a little interview with him at Gen Con one year too, because he was just he's such a dear man and such a dear friend now, and I love his designs. We played football highlights quite a bit and really had a great time.
Nice. Yeah, definitely.
Well, I would encourage everybody. I think we've probably kept Rory long enough here, and I'm not seeing a lot of extra questions. Please, if you have any questions at all, personal message us in the Kickstarter comment section. You can email me directly at berkey@gametoppersllc.com. If you have any shipping related questions or concerns, Josiah is an expert at that, and he's at support@gametoppersllc.com. This coming Friday, we have another show with Mark Streed from the Dice Tower and Board Game Corner. It's going to be at the same time. That's 1 p.m. Central Time, which is noon Mountain Time. And we're going to talk with him about some things. Hopefully by then, we'll probably be hitting close to that 600,000 goal. And the 6-hole Lord Burkton mat rack with 6 mats and 6 storage bags at an incredible price for different models should be unlocked. And you're going to see other new stretch goals coming into play. Our new Game Hall Game Topper game bag. This thing is awesome. I'm going to put it here in front, but you're going to see it's got a flap that goes here. While it's in a square, I'll show you. On this side here, there's a full zippered slot for smaller games or other items. On this side, you've got 2 great big elastic slots for large water bottles or small footprint games. It has a heavy-duty shoulder strap, and it has a heavy-duty hand carry strap that can be Velcroed together. The inside, I love this. This is all fully padded. This is high-end stuff. Game Hall from Top Shelf Fun has made really amazing products, I mean. And here you see in the bottom there, on the bottom here, you're seeing we've got a copy of Volcanic Island, Aquatica, 4 Gardens just came out. And look at this. This is great. This is one of the double trays collapsed. Because those cup holders collapsed, they fit perfect in here.
Nice.
So this can also be an accessory bag that you can carry all of your Game Topper accessories. We unlocked this thing. This is a $60 bag, and in the campaign, you're going to get it for $39. But we have a stretch goal that we're going to offer this at a lower price, almost half off of our Kickstarter price in all the packages. That's big deal, but we want to move a bunch of these, and we want to get them in your hands because they're a perfect solution for this, and they're really, really nice bags.
That's very nice.
I can
I was
even
going
put you in touch with.
to throw out there too, if you've got any or anyone that's listening, if you're a retailer, you own a game store, and you've got any questions about toppers, you're more than welcome to message me directly. You can message us through Facebook, or you can send me an email through empirebgl@gmail.com. I'm happy to answer any questions related to retail.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Rory. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate doing business with you, but honestly, the relationship to me is way more important than the transaction.
Right.
It's been a joy to meet you and learn about you, and I know you're a big mountain bike guy, and we talk regularly over the years just about cooking meat and stuff that's just been that stuff's invaluable to me. So thank you for your friendship.
Oh, for sure. I'm still waiting for that Berkey spice too, by the way.
Some happy about.
Yeah, where is it, man? We need it.
Well, I made a new batch, so I know a guy.
All right. Well, it's been a lot of fun. If you ever want me to do this again, let me know. I'm happy to do it. It's been good.
Awesome. Do you have anything else you want to close with?
I don't think so.
Well, let's keep the momentum going, guys. Let's pump this. The better we do, the better I'm going to be able to offer things. And I still have goals of hitting $1 million. You know, it doesn't look great to do that, but I think there's still a possibility if we all just get together, share this campaign, let people, if you're a backer already, let people know what your experience is. That helps so much. And so while I feel like I'm always asking for your help, I think I don't apologize for it because I believe in what we're doing, but I don't want to emphasize that as much as I want to emphasize how grateful we are for what you've done. You've allowed us to start a company. You've allowed us to produce a product that upgrades every game people play. And people have thanked me over and over for being able to provide this. They never thought they could get the dream of a game table, and now they have one. And that's because of all of your support. It's not because of anything great we're doing. I mean, we're working hard and we're playing a part, but the bigger part is your support. So thank you, everybody, and we'll see you on the Kickstarter.
Right on. Good luck, Berkey, on your Kickstarter.
Awesome. All right. Have a great day, Rory.
Yeah, have a good one.